Hey, what is going on, guys? It's GK back at you with another video here, predicting the 7-game NBA Made Center Friday. A couple things before I get into the video. If you're new to the channel, my name's GK. I make daily videos talking about NBA DFS as well as NFL DFS. I'm also here. I'm also running a weekly $20 PayPal giveaway on my channel. How it works: all you have to do is leave a like and a comment in the video. That's one entry in the giveaway. Max one comment below per video. So it starts with my Monday NBA video that I uploaded at the beginning of the week. We'll go throughout the week on my Monday NBA video at the end of the week. So however many videos I've uploaded for the week, you can enter the giveaway that many times. So if I have 10 videos uploaded for the week, you can enter the giveaway 10 times. And again, winner receives $20 PayPal from myself. Also, just want to say thank you guys for all the support, on the YouTube videos and live streams on Twitter. Really do appreciate each and every one of you. So yeah, with that out of the way, let's jump into it. First, let's look back at my lineup here from Thursday. So this is my final lineup. Trae Young, Joe Ingles, Ben Simmons, Marquise Chris, Joel Embiid, Malik Beasley, Bogdan, and Jordan Clarkson. So yes, boys, Trae Young season 13% owned in his $44 tournament, 77 fancy points. You knew I was all over him in GPPs. Really like the Philadelphia guys too with Ben Simmons and Embiid. Ben Simmons, I believe, was 8.9, was really solid, 52 fancy points. Joel Embiid was perfectly fine for his price at 9.3, 47 fancy points. And then I went with value. Marquise Chris was really chalky. I ate the chalk there. He was okay, nothing special. And then I went with Joe Ingles, Beasley, Bogdanovich, and Clarkson as value play. So we'll see how it goes. One thing I am pretty tilted about is Kawhi Leonard. Way after lock, way after even the game starts, he warms up, and then they have him listed as questionable. Looks like he's not going to go. So probably not going to be able to take down a tournament because I feel like there's going to be Lou Williams, Paul George, Montrez. Probably a couple of those guys are going to have massive games and no Kawhi. So that's pretty tilting for sure. That's NBA DFS for you. Can't really predict that stuff, but yeah, I'm pretty tilted about that. Kawhi getting ruled out literally like 15 minutes after the game start. Like, it's just pretty dumb. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a good night. I gave you guys my cash game core was Embiid, Chris, Simmons, and Ingles. But I told you guys on stream that I was playing Trae Young, and that's the way I was going about it. So, yeah, all in all, I think it's going to be a pretty solid night with, again, 13% owned Trae Young going for 77. I should easily be in the cash here. We'll see how these value guys end up finishing. But that's my lineup here for Thursday. So let's talk about Friday. And we have a pretty solid this slate this week. Or this week's games have been pretty solid. There's been like 6, 7, 8 games like every single night. Really good for DFS. Perfect size slates in my opinion. But let's take a look at some numbers here for this 7-game slate. We have Raptors and Pistons right now sitting at 223, with the Raptors favored by 4.5. We're the Bulls and the Nets sitting at 220.5. Brooklyn favored by 5. We're the Mavs and the Rockets 239.5. Rockets only 5-point favorites with no Luka Doncic. Grizzlies, Pelicans at 241. Pelicans are by 5.5. Denver, Milwaukee, no spread out yet. I guess kind of waiting on Giannis news. OKC and Phoenix at 222.5, with OKC favored by 1. And late night hammer here, Portland and the Lakers 230, with the Lakers 13-point favorites. All right, as always, we'll start with center. And at the top is Anthony Davis at 9.6. And I think Anthony Davis is pretty appealing at this price point. They were limiting him after he missed about a week or two with that injury. And then in this game against Philadelphia, played 39 minutes. It looks like he's off his minutes restriction. They have him listed as questionable. I fully expect him to go. He's been dealing with that glute contusion. But yeah, I full expect 80 to go. And if this game stays close, that's a big if. There's a 13-point spread, but Lillard has been playing unbelievable. So I think there's a decent chance this game can stay close. And yeah, AD at 9.6 for a guy that's going to play close to 40 minutes in a close game. I think he stands as a pretty solid spend up. I also like Jokic a lot here at 9.4. With all those guys out for Denver, we had Gary Harris ruled out too. He's been playing huge minutes, doing it all offensively. Milwaukee, I know they played at a fast pace, but I'm not scared of Brook Lopez defense. I'm not scared of whoever else to try to throw on them, whether it be Robin Lopez or Ersan. Jokic should be able to feast there. So I really like Jokic as well at 9.4K. Drummond at 9.3, probably not for me against Toronto. Now, there is no Marc Gasol, which is good for Drummond. Ibaka's still a solid defender, but I would say not as good. Like, I would say Marc Gasol matched up better against Drummond than Ibaka does. But it makes it hard for me to get to Drummond when you have Jokic at 9.4 and Anthony Davis at 9.6. Whiteside at 8.4, I think more of a contrarian option. I think he can still get you there at the price. But again, I just like other centers. I like Jokic more. I like AD more. DeAndre Ayton is certainly doable at 8.3. He's been playing big minutes. The last game against Dallas was a blowout. Would not be concerned about playing 29. In close games, he's going to get 35 to 40. So yeah, I think DeAndre Ayton is certainly in play as a spend-up center. Now, again, I think I would prefer Jokic for an extra 1,000 to Ayton, but that doesn't make Ayton out of play. Siakam at 8.2, going up against Detroit. What's this over-under, or 4.5 point spread? So Vegas thinks this game can stay close. I think we get about 35 or so minutes from Siakam, maybe a little bit more. I'm okay with him. I don't think he stands out as an amazing play, though. Capella at 7.8, probably not for me. He only played 17 minutes. Was there? He wasn't in foul trouble either. What happened that game? I think I watched the first quarter of this game, and then yeah, him only playing 17 minutes is obviously really, really concerning. Maybe that heel is still dealing with. Now Zion Williamson at 7K, I think is very much in play here. They've slowly been increasing his minutes, 18, 21, 27, 30 the last game. So I think these minutes probably keep going up. I think we probably get 32, 33. And this is a really good spot. This game in general is super appealing. I like a lot of guys in Memphis. We'll talk about them in a little bit here, but I think Zion is certainly in play there. I also have a good amount of interest in Ibaka at 6.9. Played 33 minutes with no Marc Gasol. I think we probably get about the same here at 6.9K. That is, his price came down about, or what was he priced at? Oh, he was in the 7K range. So his price did come down a little bit. 6.9 seems like a pretty appealing price for Ibaka. The one concern is there's a chance he gets in foul trouble, but yeah, I think we probably get about 35 minutes from him in a close game, and 6.9, that is too cheap. 6.8, we have Kristaps Porzingis with no Luka Doncic. So this is the big question mark for me of what I want to do with Porzingis. They've been really limiting his minutes, 25, 25, 26, and 20 in a blowout. I don't know. The price tag is super appealing. The matchup is super appealing, and we have no Luka. I'm a little bit torn here because, again, they've been limiting his minutes. If I knew Kristaps was going to play 30 minutes, I would probably play him for sure. But I think that's up in the air right now. They've really been taking it easy on him. We'll see. Hopefully we get some sort of clarity on whether or not he's still on a minutes limit or not. I don't think we will. But if we get news that he's no longer on a minutes limit, I think he's one of my favorite plays here at this price. We've seen massive upside games from Porzingis when Luka's been out of lineup, like 40, 50 fantasy point upside. So I would really like Porzingis if he's not going to be on a minutes limit. Another one of my favorite plays of the night here, Jonas Valanciunas, 6.3K. Last two games, 34 and 31 minutes, 48 and 37 fantasy points. If Jonas Valanciunas is going to play 30 minutes on a night-to-night basis, this price is way, way too cheap. And we have Triple J is out. He's suspended for a game. So that just opens up the door for more minutes for JV. I love him. He's one of my favorite, if not my favorite play of the day right now. So the one concern I will bring up is in this same matchup earlier, about a week ago, only played 21 minutes. I was super tilted because I played him that night. I think it was Martin Luther King Day. I recommended him. I was like, JV, this is a smash spot. He was getting about 30 minutes a game before that, and then in that game against the Pelicans, only played 21. Was not in foul trouble. So that's the one concern is he did get limited in this matchup recently. But no Jaren Jackson Jr., I think that opens the door for pretty good minutes from JV. And at 6.3K, that is just way too cheap in my opinion. So as long as he doesn't get limited to like 21 minutes, I think JV can smash this price tag. One of my favorite plays for sure. Jarrett Allen at 6.1, more of just a contrarian GPP play. Again, him and DeAndre Jordan split the center minutes. Again, we have Triple J out, 1-game suspension. Jeremy Grant, I think, is actually a pretty appealing price tag here at 5.7. He's been playing big minutes, been playing a lot of the backup 5 as well. So I have some interest in Jeremy Grant if he's going to continue to play 35-plus minutes. I also have a little bit of interest in Favors here at 5.5. Now, they've been running Zion a bit at the 5. I don't think they can do that against Jonas Valanciunas. I think Favors is their best bet. And if JV is going to get 30 minutes, I think Favors is probably going to get close to that to guard him. So I have some interest in Favors. I think he goes pretty low owned, but I think he is certainly doable. The concern is one of the precious center spots, right? And I really like JV. I really like Jokic at the top here. So as of right now, those are probably the two centers I'm going with, but there's certainly other options. Now, Brandon Clark is definitely interesting here, 4.8K with no Triple J. My issue would be if he doesn't start, I think he just gets the same minutes he's been getting all season, which is like low to mid 20s in the high end. If he does start, then I think we could push 30 minutes from Brandon Clark. So I would like him a lot if he starts. If he comes off the bench, he's more of just this. I don't think he'll get a huge boost minutes wise. My opinion. We've seen this. I forget when it was, but either one of JV or Triple J was out, and Brandon Clark didn't end up starting, and he came out the bench. He just still played the same minutes. So I would like him a lot if he starts. If he doesn't start, it's more of just that, yeah, he's okay at 4.8. Again, really good spot there. So I can still see him, even if he doesn't start, like I could still see him getting you there at like 25 minutes or so. Let's see. Other options. Dwight with JaVale McGee back, I'll pass. Wood. I know he had a big game the last game with Drummond playing. I'm not going to go back there, though. PJ Tucker. I wonder, they must have used PJ Tucker a lot, the 5. He's been okay. He's a solid value play. Let's see. Luke Cornett. Is he? He's probably. The Bulls just list everyone as probable. It's so annoying. Gafford's doubtful. Can't go there. Maxi Kleber, I guess, is okay at 3.7. But I think I like other value plays more in Dallas. We'll talk about some of them here in a bit. Yeah, that's basically it, though, for center. So let's move on to power forward. Giannis at the top. This is also slate-changing news. He's listed as questionable. If he can't go, it's Ersan, it's Middleton, and it's Bledsoe. I would really like all three once again. I know Denver is not really the best spot, but they're missing so many guys, so many good defenders that it doesn't really bother me that much. We also have DiVincenzo questionable. So if Giannis and DiVincenzo can't go, again, it's those three that I talked about, Bledsoe, Middleton, and Ersan. And then also that would make the value plays in play, like the cheaper guys in play if DiVincenzo can't go, guys like George Hill, guys like Pat Connaughton. So certainly something to keep an eye on with the status of some of these Milwaukee guys, especially Giannis. Brandon Ingram, so it's good to see him and Drew Holiday flash him upside with Zion playing. Now, the minutes haven't been huge for him. We probably get low to mid-30s from Ingram. But I think he is in play in a really, 241.5 over-under. This game has a lot of upside. I could see definitely game stacking this game. There's, JV and John Morant really, really appealing on the Memphis side. And then you got a lot of guys you can play here on the Pelicans. So I could see if you wanted to game stack the game for GPPs. Kelly Oubre, not a super big Kelly Oubre guy, but he's been playing big minutes. He's been somewhat consistent with a little bit of upside too. And 6.3K feels a little bit too cheap for him. Carmelo, so they originally had him listed out, and now he's questionable, I guess. Currently away from the team, but has not been officially ruled out. We'll see what they end up doing. If he can't go, that could open up some value for Portland. Probably Gary Trent Jr. would be my guess, would start. Or they could run more small ball Simons. They already have Ariza starting, so I'm trying to think who else they could use. So certainly something to keep an eye on there with the status of Melo. Gallinari, OKC is such a tough team to break down because they're all so similarly priced, and no one ever stands out to me. But they're very, very underpriced. I think everyone's under 7K in the OKC side. Really appealing matchup against Phoenix. So I am perfectly fine if you land on any of those OKC guys. Let's see. Taurean Prince not going to chase that big game. I think Thad Young's safe at 5K. Doesn't have enormous upside though. Ariza, you could look to him if Melo's out. Again, Clark, even if he comes off the bench, I still think he's viable. If he starts, I would like him a lot here at this price. OG at 4.5 did get 31 minutes. Didn't do a whole lot there, but 4.5K makes him in play if he's going to continue to get those type of minutes. Boucher, how many minutes did he get? He got 15, right? So Boucher's a guy that's somewhere between 15 to 25. If he hits that high end, like if Ibaka gets in foul trouble or something, if Boucher plays really well, extend him, he could crush this salary. But I think he's just more in play for GPPs right now. Ersan, so he's too cheap if Giannis is out. 3.8K. I know he only played 21 minutes there against Washington. I would go right back to the well with Ersan if he starts again for if Giannis gets ruled out. So certainly something to keep an eye on there for value. And that's basically it. So let's move on to small forward. LeBron at the top at 10.3. Looks like a pretty appealing price for LeBron, too. Again, him and AD are a little bit underpriced. Really good spot against Portland. The one concern is there's some blowout risk for sure, but I'm perfectly fine to get to LeBron. Seems like a pretty safe spend up. Middleton, again, him, Bledsoe, Ersan, those would be guys I would look to. Put up 76 against Washington. If Giannis can't go, I would really like those guys, even in a tougher spot. Eric Gordon's too expensive with Westbrook and Harden both playing. Can't go there. Will Barton, if Gary Harris is out again, I think you can look to him. 5.8K is a pretty cheap price. He's been really bad. I'm curious to see how he does tonight. That game's currently going on right now, but I think he's in play in the mid-tier. Other options, let's see. Jay Crowder is perfectly fine. Again, if you want to get a cheaper piece and a really high over-under, he's a guy that probably gets 25 to 30 minutes. I'm perfectly fine with him as a value play if you want to go there. Karis LeVert is 4K. I know he's been not great, but 4K seems pretty cheap for LeVert. I think he's definitely in play as a value option. Even JJ Redick. We've been getting about 25 minutes from JJ. This, again, really good spot. The concern with him is he is kind of scoring independent. He's got to knock down those threes. But if we're going to continue to get about 25 minutes from JJ at 4K, I think he's certainly in play as a value option. But I think that's basic. I'm not going to chase the Dort game. He did have a good game, actually. 23 points, 2 boards, 1 steal, 1 block. I'm not chasing that at 3.5. That's really it. So let's move on to shooting guard. James Harden. All right, so the question is, what do you do with the Houston guards? I've been playing Westbrook the last couple of slates. It's been working out for me. Now, Harden is – he's been in a huge slump. I can't remember a slump like this that Harden's been in for – it's been, like 8-9 games? He's been just terrible. Shooting the ball terribly, not doing a whole lot offensively. He's turning the ball over a lot. He's deferring to Russell Westbrook. This is a spot where I think Harden goes somewhat low-owned. But, hey, the bounce-back game is going to happen soon for Harden. And when it does, he's probably going to have a massive game because he's underpriced right now at 10.6K. But, like I said, yeah, if he has one of those upside games, if he puts up 70 to 80, you are just in amazing shape, obviously. So the question is, when is it going to happen? You can continue to fade. That's perfectly fine. He's been terrible. I get it. Like, am I going to play Harden on the slate? Right now, probably not. I haven't really, messed with roster construction too much. But, if enough value opens up, I would consider him. Booker at 9.1, I think is certainly in play. He's been amazing recently. Really has. 41-39. This game blew out. Only played 31 minutes. 57. 48, 57 fancy points. He's getting the peripheral stats. I really like to see this, even alongside Rubio. Assists, getting some boards. So I think Devin Booker is certainly in play as a spend up. Don't mind Levine either. I think both him and Booker are more contrarian options on this slate. But these are guys that have 50, even 60 fancy point upside. So, yeah, I don't think I would go there for cash with those two guys, but they're certainly viable for GPPs. Again, Drew, good to see he had upside game with Zion playing at 57 fancy points. 28, 8, 2, 4, and 3. This is another spot he could have an upside game. Now, the price is at, I wouldn't say he's like a smash play, but I think he's certainly viable. And again, 241 over under. This game looks pretty appealing for sure. Derrick Rose, 7.6 with Drummond playing. I'll pass. Dinwiddie with Kyrie playing. I don't want to go there. Fred VanVleet, the Toronto guys seem a little bit underpriced for, probably get 35 plus minutes from them. I'm okay if you land on FVF. Again, these OKC guys, SGA, Schroeder, they're all priced under 7K. It's a really good spot. I'm perfectly fine if you land at any of these guys. OKC is always the team. Again, they're hard to break down because I never know which one is going to have like the really good night with those main four, SGA, Schroeder, Chris Paul, and Gallinari. But I think you're certainly fine playing 1, even 2 if you really want to of those OKC guys. CJ. So the question is, are you going to play either Anthony Davis or LeBron? If you play one of those guys, if you play AD or LeBron, you're banking on the fact that this game stays close. If this game stays close, it's either going to be because of Lillard or McCollum, or both. And 6.4K is a very cheap price tag for CJ if he gets like this 35 plus minutes. So he's certainly viable. It's just a question of, do you want to play the blowout in that game, or do you want to play, I think this game stays close, I play LeBron, I maybe play Lillard or CJ, right? So It's up to you on whether or not you think that game stays close. Hardaway is also questionable for Dallas, so Dallas is really up in the air right now. Again, I want to get some clarity on Porzingis. Hopefully, we probably won't. We have Hardaway questionable, Doncic out. There could be a lot of value here for Dallas in a really, really good spot. Brooks is a little bit too scoring dependent for me, but I get it if you want to go there. Powell a little bit too expensive there, 5.3. DeLon Wright, Seth Curry. These are guys that, if Hardaway is out, you can still go here. The issue is they still have a lot of guys that can use if Hardaway plays. And it's Rick Carlisle. The rotations are so inconsistent, but a couple of these Dallas guys are going to crush their salaries with no Luka. Again, we have DiVincenzo questionable if he can't go, and if Giannis can't go, then we can consider some of those cheap guys like Hill, like Connaughton. So Jalen Brunson, he's one of my favorite plays here at 3.8K. I'm assuming he starts. He's started for Luka in the past in games. So I'm assuming this. If he does start, he is one of the best value plays for sure. So yeah, certainly something to keep an eye on, but I assume they're going to start Brunson. If that's the case, I really like him at that price. I also have some interest in J.J. Barea at 3.6. He played 23 minutes the last game now, partly due to a blowout, but if Hardaway is out as well, there's a real chance J.J. Barea could get minutes into the 20s. And if that's the case, he could smash that salary. Let's see. Craig, I'll pass there. Don't think we have to do it. Beasley, I'm interested to see how many minutes he plays tonight with no Gary Harris. Again, I played him. Hopefully he does something for me at 3.5K, but it is Mike Malone. That basically wraps up for shooting guards. Let's talk about point guard again. No Luka. Harden, Westbrook. Question is, which one do you go with? Westbrook has been playing unbelievable. He's been playing huge minutes, shooting the ball really well too. 16 of 27, 14 of 29, 16 of 29. Yeah, I am perfectly fine if you get to Westbrook. I'm perfectly fine if you get to Harden. It's just, do you like riding the hot hand, or do you want to try to go for a guy that, maybe goes lower owned, and if he has a bounce back game, could crush? Let's see. Lillard has also been on just an enormous streak here. 92, 70, 84, and 70 fantasy points the last couple games with CJ playing. Everyone healthy. So the upside is still here from Lillard. He has been just shooting the ball unreal. Triple-double. This is not really a good spot. So I think he's more of a contrarian play, but he is certainly in play for GPPs. Yeah, if Portland's going to keep it close, we're probably going to see a big game from Dame Lillard. And he just always seems to step it up in the big games. Like Houston, a big game. Golden State, not really a big game, but he just seems to always step up in the big games. Kyrie at 9K against Chicago. I don't think I want to go there on this slate. Let's see. Lowry again. Lowry, Fred VanVleet. I'm perfectly fine if you landed one of those guys. I would probably prefer Lowry. Both those guys are going to get big minutes in a good spot. Bledsoe, this is strictly dependent on Giannis news. If Giannis can't go, it's Bledsoe, Middleton, or Ersan for me. Lonzo Ball is also viable if you want to go put in part of a game stack. He didn't have a great game the last game, but he's a guy that, Zion playing doesn't really affect him in my opinion. You could almost make the argument it helps him because of the assist numbers. So I think Lonzo is viable there at 7K. Really, really like John Morant here at 6.9. 32, 34, 30, and 28 minutes in a blowout there. We probably get 30 to 35 minutes in a close game. 6.9K in a really good spot against the Pelicans. I have a lot of interest in John Morant at this price. One of my favorite plays. I really like him. I really like Jonas Valanciunas. Again, these OKC guys, I am perfectly fine if you landed one of those guys. Even Rubio's okay at 5.9. Did only get 26 minutes, but that was due to a blowout. I think we get, 30 to 35 in a close game. He hasn't been good recently, but you're getting him at a really cheap price tag, 5.9K. Again, Bart, I'm curious to see how many minutes he plays tonight. Chris Dunn, I'll pass. Don't think we have to go there. Monte Morris started. I think he's okay, but I'll probably look elsewhere. Reggie Jackson intrigues. So I'm a Pistons fan. What has gotten into Reggie Jackson since he's come back? He has been playing unbelievable. 23 minutes, 30 fantasy points. 25 minutes, 24 fantasy points. 26 minutes, 37 fantasy points. I think he is certainly in play. Those minutes are continuing to tick up slowly. And 4.8K, I think he still has upside at this price. So he's viable. Again, DeLon Wright, if Hardaway can't go, there's going to be a lot to like here for Dallas. Let's see. Other options, again, I really talk about really liking Brunson. JJ Barea is certainly viable. Rondo, more of just a GPP dart throw here at 3.6. Somewhere between 15 to 25 fancy points. But if like Hardaway's out, again, these Dallas guards just seem a lot more appealing to me. And, is George Hill out too? Will not play Friday. Okay, so George, that is pretty interesting because he was also playing 20 plus minutes. So let me go to Milwaukee really quick before I end the video. Where's Milwaukee? So if Giannis can't go, if DiVincenzo can't go, and obviously George Hill is not going, then it's Milton, Bledsoe, and Ersan. And then I would be okay with Brook Lopez, but again, center position is really loaded for me. Right now, I'm probably going JV and Jokic, but that would make probably Pat Connaughton a really solid play here at min price. He got 22 minutes. I don't think I would go Wes Matthews. He's just too scoring dependent for me. Kyle Korver, kind of the same thing. I guess he's fine. I would personally prefer playing a guy like Connaughton, maybe even Sterling Brown at min price. I guess I'd probably lean towards Connaughton, who does a little bit more peripheral stats-wise. So certainly something to keep an eye on there. Again, if Giannis, DiVincenzo, and George Hill can't go, then I think a guy like Connaughton at the flat min would be certainly viable. But yeah, that basically wraps it up. So let me go team by team again. Toronto side, I'm perfectly fine with any of those starters. Really good spot. Boucher, more of a dart throw off the bench. Detroit side, not a whole lot I'm super excited about. Drummond, D Rose, probably not for me. On the Dallas side, the big news is Luka being out. Porzingis, I'm curious to see if he's going to be still on a minutes limit. They've been easing him back. If he's no longer on a minutes limit, if we get that news, Porzingis is probably my favorite play. If he's still going to be limited to 25 or so minutes, I'll probably pass. And then those guards, right? We have Hardaway questionable as well, like DeLon Wright, Seth Curry, JJ Barea, Jalen Brunson. Those guys are all pretty appealing in a really good spot there against Houston. On the Houston side, if you have the salary to get to Westbrook Harden, I'm perfectly fine with that. Everyone else, though, I'm not really interested in. Chicago, Brooklyn, not a whole lot I'm interested in the Chicago side. Like Levine, more of a contrarian spend up. On the Brooklyn side, kind of the same thing. Not a whole lot I like. Kyrie, just contrarian spend up to me. Memphis and New Orleans, really appealing game here. On the Memphis side, I love Jonas Valanciunas. I love John Morant. I think Jay Crowder certainly plays a value play. I think Brandon Clark, if he starts, would be a certainly pretty solid value play. You could even go to him off the bench, but again, that one game, I forget when it was. Either JV or Triple J was out, and Brandon Clark still didn't see a huge minutes bump off the bench. But if he starts, I would love him. Denver, Milwaukee. On the Pelican side, there's a good amount to like too. I think Zion, if he's going to play over 30 minutes, you could look to Drew or Ingram or Lonzo, even Favors, even JJ as a value play. There's a lot to like there on the Pelican side. On Denver, I really like Jokic's spend up 9.4K is too cheap in my opinion. One of my favorite plays of the day, Jokic's. Don't mind Barton if he's going to play big minutes. And then on the Milwaukee side, it's all up in the air right now, right? If all those guys are out, it's Middleton, Bledsoe, and Ersan for me. If Giannis plays, I don't think I get to any of those guys besides maybe Giannis, but 11.7 feels like a lot to pay for Giannis. So if Giannis ends up playing, I'll probably just fade Milwaukee in general. OKC, Phoenix, there's a good amount to like in the OKC guys. The main four, CP3, SGA, Schroeder, and Gallinari are all underpriced in a really good spot. On the Phoenix side, Booker, more of a contrarian spend up, but he's been amazing. I'm fine to get to Ayton as well. And then Oubre seems a little bit underpriced. Ricky Rubio is pretty cheap. And then finally, we have Portland and the Lakers. Big question is, what do you want to do with this game? If you think this game blows out, you probably fade it in general. If you think it stays close, I mean, AD is too cheap in my opinion. I really like him. LeBron seems like a safe spend up on the Portland side. Lillard has been playing unbelievable, and I think CJ is a little bit too cheap as well. We also have to monitor the status of Carmelo Anthony. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for today's video, guys. So if you have been enjoying the content, would really appreciate if you could like this video and subscribe. Again, all the likes on the videos and live streams really help me out. Again, all free content for you guys. So just take a couple seconds out of your day to hit that like button. Would really appreciate that. But yeah, I will be live streaming for this 7-game slate, probably 45 minutes before lock. So be sure to check out the live stream, guys. I will go over all the news that we get throughout the day. I will answer any questions you guys have, and I'll give you my core kind of cash game plays at the end. So thanks again for having me to come and check the video, and I will see you guys all tomorrow in the live stream.